Hey, and welcome to Isaya's Inspiring Evenings, which is my new edition of my podcast where goddess stories meet real life. I'm Isaya Gabriel. I'm a writer, an artist, a goddess life coach, and a magical pragmatic guide. I'm here to help you weave serenity, joy, and sacred depth into your everyday world. In this series called Isaya's Inspiring Musings, I share what moves me, what challenges me, and makes me think. Sometimes aligned with my blog, sometimes not. Always authentic, always embodied. Today's episode is called We Do Not Gallop, We Rise Where the Earth when the Earth Worms. There are seasons when nothing moves, even when I ache for them to do. I wake up, I do the things, I answer the emails, I make the soup, I stare at the sky, and yet I feel paused. Not broken, not collapsing, just underground. I was tempted to call it stuck, but that word feels violent, as if something is wrong, as if I should be blooming already. And then I remembered Persephone. The underground is not failure. Persephone did not fail when she descended. She did not lose momentum. She did not fall behind. She was not less spiritual because she entered the underworld. She was becoming queen. But here is what no one tells us about becoming queen. It happens in the dark. The seed does not look impressive. The bulb does not perform. The root system does not post about its progress. And yet, everything essential is happening. This late winter season carries that same quiet tension. The almond trees are almost blooming. The earth is softening, but the miracle is still quite invisible. We are culturally allergic to invisible growth, though. We want proof, output, evidence, expansion. Thing is, roots grow in silence. So there is a lie of the visible progress. We are taught that healing must look radiant, that creativity must look productive, that transformation must look like movement. If nothing is visible, we assume nothing is happening. No one congratulates a bulb for doing absolutely nothing above the soil. And yet, the bulb is reorganizing its entire existence. What if our current feeling of pause is not stagnation, but reorganization? What if the silence is not absence, but composting? We do not gallop. Because honestly, fuck the Chinese fire horse galloping into 2026. We do not gallop just because the sky declares fire. Not every energetic forecast needs to become a command. Not every cosmic narrative requires our obedience. We do not have to rush because the sky says accelerate. We do not have to gallop because some collective momentum declares it is a year of fire. The sky has long represented authority, father energy, decree, patriarchy, move faster, aim higher, conquer more. But we are not solely creatures of the sky. We are women of the earth. And the earth does not gallop. The earth softens. The earth warms. The earth waits until the conditions are right. Maybe this year we follow the soil instead of the stars. Maybe we listen to the mothering rhythm beneath our feet rather than the injunctions shouted from above. Persephone does not rush her return. She rises when the ground releases her. And so can we. The emotional texture of the underworld. Let's be honest. The underworld or underground does not feel glamorous. It feels like doubt, fatigue, not knowing who we are becoming, letting go of a skin that no longer fits, being too big for the old version of ourselves and not yet anchored in the new. It can feel lonely. Even when we are loved, even when our lives are objectively fine, Persephone did not descend as queen. She descended as maiden. She emerged with authority. The underground was not punishment, it was initiation. And initiation always strips before it crowns. You might not be stuck. You might be integrating. You might be digesting everything you lived through last year. You might be recalibrating your nervous system after expansion. You might be quietly shedding roles, identities, expectations. You might be preparing to bloom in a way that would have been impossible 6 months ago. The problem is not that nothing is happening, it is that you cannot see it yet. And our culture does not know how to honor unseen faces. But nature does, and you are nature. So, a few magical, pragmatic ways to honor the underground. So, if you suspect that you are in underground season yet, try this. Reduce visible expectations. Not forever, just for now. Choose one tiny ritual and tend it daily. Light a candle, walk slowly, journal what is dissolving. Instead of asking, what should I build? Ask, what is softening? Instead of forcing clarity, notice subtle stirrings. The underground does not respond to pressure, it responds to patience. We're in the stirring before the bloom. There comes a moment when the soil warms just enough, not a dramatic explosion, not fireworks, a small crack, a breath, a green tip pushing through. If you are starting to feel that, if something in you is stretching toward the light, if you sense that your underground season is ending and you're ready to cross into something new, that crossing deserves intention. It deserves witness. It deserved sacred space. And that is exactly why I'm holding a retreat called Into the Bloom, Spring Rebirth in April. Not a productivity workshop, not a self-improvement boot camp, but a conscious threshold, a space where we move from underground to emergence, where we honor what has composted, where we step into bloom gently, embodied, sovereign. Persephone does not explode into spring, she rises. If you feel the stirring, if you know that you are ready to emerge but want to do so held and supported, you can step into the bloom with us, following the link below the audio or video. And if your underground season feels deeper, more personal, more intimate, my one-to-one coaching containers remain open for now for women navigating these thresholds with intention. And let me repeat, you are not late. You are not behind. You are not failing. You may simply be underground. And underground is sacred. Sacred seasons are not meant to be lived alone. So if you feel the stirring and know this is your moment to rise, know this too. Both my one-to-one coaching spaces and the remaining spots for Into the Bloom are intentionally limited. I work intimately. I hold small, potent containers. And once they are full, they close. The retreat in April is approaching. The circle is forming. My private coaching containers are also filling up as women feel this seasonal shift. So if you're listening to this and something in you whispers, yes, do not wait for perfect certainty. Initiation rarely feels tidy. The bloom does not stay hidden forever. I believe that is all for today. I would be so happy to hear from you. And if this spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to share it with a sister, a friend, a fellow goddess on the path. And I send, as always, love, light, and gratitude. Bye for now.